Hey guys, it's Amanda. As an American living in the UK, I generally talk about the differences between the US and UK. However, today we are going to look at something a bit different. If you follow the channel, you know I love the differences in language between the two countries. So I'm really excited for this video because it's all about the differences between 5 English-speaking countries: the US, UK, Australia, Ireland, and New Zealand. Just curious to see how different we'll all be. But remember to leave your recommendations in the comments or head over to my Instagram and leave them there.
This is jumping jacks.
Ireland, we'd say jumping jack.
Tick, tick.
Tick, check. No.
Chuck the chalk like on the Barbie.
Chuck the chalk. Hello. Hi, I'm Christina from the US.
Hi, I'm Lauren from the UK.
Hi, I'm Emer from Ireland.
Hi, I'm Rory from Australia.
I'm Dylan from New Zealand.
We already know that we use different words. We may use similar words, I think, because we're close, and then maybe you two will use
I feel
similar
like
words.
we'll use more similar words to the UK than we might to the US. But also, Australians shorten everything.
You have your own word for everything, so.
Toilet.
In the US, toilet.
In the UK, loo or toilet.
In Ireland, toilet.
In Australia, toilet.
Not dunny?
You gotta say
Now
dunny.
the dunny is like outside, like an outside toilet. You might call that a dunny, but that toilet.
New Zealand, toilet.
What I call the actual thing the loo, it's more like the loo is the room, but then this is also the loo. I don't know. Loo?
Sometimes we say
Right.
loo. Like if someone said the loo, oh, we know
The
it's like
loo.
that
Going to the
place.
Yeah, you're going to the loo.
Am I going to the loo? I don't know.
Chicken?
In the US, this is a chicken.
In the UK, this is also a chicken.
In Ireland, it's also a chicken.
In Australia, it's a chicken.
In New Zealand, it is a chicken.
You could refer to it as a chook, but you would call it a chicken. But if you were going to have like a roast chicken, you could call it a roast chook.
So once it's been cooked.
It's still the chicken. But maybe you call it a chook. Most people would say they're going to eat chicken, but you could say chuck the chook like on the Barbie.
Chuck the chook!
Oh, that is the most Australian sentence ever.
That's a weird one to put on there.
So in the US is a hurricane.
In the UK, we would say hurricane.
In Ireland, hurricane.
In Australia, you'd probably say cyclone, but you would know what a hurricane is.
Yeah, in New Zealand, we would say cyclone, but we don't have any, so.
Yeah, us too. I think like cyclone is also used commonly, but like in the news, which would be where we would see would be like hurricane.
If someone said cyclone, I'd know what it is.
Right.
Yeah. Till.
In the US, cash register.
In the UK, till.
In Ireland, it's the till.
In Australia, it's the till.
And in New Zealand, it's the till.
Oh, sorry, Christina.
I see a till.
Cash register is so long.
It's like a tongue twister too. Cash register. Till is so much easier to say though.
I feel like in Ireland, I've heard register sometimes.
I think like you hear it in like Seinfeld and stuff, so you just know like what it is.
We know what it is.
Till, never. I never hear till, but it's so much easier to say.
Till is, well, it is much quicker to say. And it's funny, with it, I said the British word first instead of cash register. But then I don't think most Americans are like, oh, let's go up to the cash register. We just say register. And everyone knows what that is. But yeah, let's just go up to the till.
In the US, normally
Fall.
people would say fall.
In the UK, we would say autumn.
In Ireland, it's autumn.
In Australia, it's autumn.
And New Zealand, it's autumn.
But autumn too, but I think typically fall is much more commonly used. But we definitely know autumn. Always like fall festival. Yeah, it would be fall. In the
Check.
US, it's a check.
In the UK, it is a tick.
Ireland, it's a tick.
In Australia, that's a tick.
In New Zealand, that's a tick.
Whoa! Yeah, hearing tick, we would be like, a tick, like you know the bug. Like a tick?
It's a sound you make, like tick, tick.
Tick, tick, check. No, it doesn't work. Okay.
So it seems like us Americans are always the odd one out. And going back to the autumn fall, I always say fall. It's one of those things that will stay with me until the day I'm no longer here. Fall. I don't know. I know I get corrected so many times. It's autumn or autumn. There's no D in it, is there? Autumn. But I love fall. It's one of the best times of the year.
So in the US, vacation house.
In the UK, this would be a holiday home.
In Ireland, it'd be a holiday home.
In Australia, it would be a holiday house.
In New Zealand, this would be a batch.
And batches specifically for like holidays.
It's like your
vacations.
house you go to on holiday.
And where do people usually have their batches?
Usually on the beach. Like on the beach or in, nearby the beach.
Somewhere relaxing.
Nice.
I have absolutely no idea why it's called a batch.
Batch. So random.
So in the US, convenience store.
In the UK, we would say corner shop.
In Ireland, it's also a corner shop.
In
just
Australia,
the
you'd
shop.
probably say convenience store, but you might, if you're older, call it a milk bar.
Sell milk there, right?
I guess that's probably where it came from. I know my granddad would have called something like that a milk bar.
Well, in New Zealand, we call it a dairy.
Just dairy.
Dairy.
Same logic, I guess. Like the
Milk. They
right.
sell milk.
And ours are
If someone said milk bar, I would think some kind of frozen treat or an ice cream. Yeah, I wouldn't think of a convenience store. And then the same with New Zealand saying dairy. I would just assume it sold dairy, the obvious milk, cheese, etc. No, that one could be quite confusing. I think Americans and Brits get this one. It just makes a bit more sense. Oh, I'm going to the convenience store or I'm going to the corner shop. It's all the things that you could need in a little convenient shop. Bread, milk, whatever.
on the corners usually, or they used to be, so that's why we call them corner shops.
Pram.
So in the US, this would be a stroller.
In the UK, this would be a pram.
In Ireland, pram or a buggy. Yeah, I think buggies are more the ones where they're facing forward, though. Instead of, I think at a pram would be the
Being
one.
a father here, like now you can switch them around, no problem.
Oh wow, you can do both buggy and pramming.
Wow, there you go.
In Australia, you call that a pram.
Yeah, in New Zealand, you'd call that a pram.
Nice.
Jumping jacks.
In the US, this is jumping jacks.
In the UK, this is a star jump.
In Ireland, we'd say jumping jacks.
In Australia, we'd call that a star jump.
And in New Zealand, we'd call that a star jump.
Okay.
Who's Jack?
Yeah, who is Jack?
Why jumping Jack?
He just had a thing where he would do these kind of jumps and they just called up.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a jumping jack. No, I don't know. I don't know the history. Isn't Jack like a...
The game.
The game. They do kind of look like those jacks, hey?
Yeah, I think that's why.
I actually know this random fact. Years ago, it was a general in the US military nicknamed Black Jack. And he came up with this game if you will, to punish soldiers. But also he wanted to make them fitter at the same time. So he'd get them all in a line and pull like an imaginary string. And when he did, they all had to fling out their arms and legs. And that is basically how the jumping jack came to be. Now, I've read that somewhere and I've been told that. If I'm wrong, I do apologize. But that is what I always thought it came from. So let me know in the comments if you've heard that or if you've heard something different. And we'll compare. We'll compare notes.
In the US, police.
In the UK, police.
In Ireland, it's Garda.
Garda.
That is an Irish word. We don't have an English word. I mean, you could call it a policeman or police officer, but we call them Garda or the Gardaí.
Gardaí.
The Gardaí.
Oh, I like that Gardaí.
The Gardaí.
In Australia, that's a police officer.
Yeah, in New Zealand, that's the police.
The police.
The police.
The police.
When there's an article, you know you got to serious.
So yeah, the same in the US. The police. It was fun. I like the Gardaí. That was different for me.
I think it was funny. It was just like you by yourself, and then we all said the same kind of words, which I didn't expect actually, that they would have some similar words with you. But
It's the US doing our own thing again.
I thought it was interesting. Like all of us were the same, except that one where we had jumping jacks. I was like, I thought like it would all be the same, like or something. But yeah, and then of course the Gardaí and Batch actually. Batch was a good one.
That's a new one, right?
Honestly, I think, the same. I was surprised by how many, like, the US was just completely on its own vibe. But then again, now that I think about it, like, I've heard those words, so I know what they mean.
Yeah.
But then when I heard batch and guard, like, what?
Same. Same. Batch. Never.
Yeah, I think like for New Zealanders, when we travel abroad, like a lot of times there's words that we use that people have no idea.
Batch, I would be like, oh, batch of bread.
Batch of what?
It was good learning like to see how we have similarities and how we're different, you know.
So today we compared some word differences.
If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
So going back to the police, in newspapers and formal situations, you would say police, but many Americans I know call them cops. And I know actually quite a few Brits who call them coppers and a few other choice words, but I've never heard Garda before. I wonder where that came from. But what do you call the police? Cops? Police? The men in blue? Let me know. But I am surprised how many times the US was the only one that was different. I thought for sure we would have a few more similarities than that. I suppose we did break off a bit earlier than the rest. And saying that, these answers could change drastically depending what part of the US you're from. And I'm sure it's the same with the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Either way, I thought it was a fun video. What did you think? Did you enjoy it? Is there anything you'd add? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, smash that like button if that's what you're into, and I'll see you in the next video.